flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Elijah Moore in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of this. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Watson's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now it's Watson. Touchdown! Donovan Peoples-Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Carr completes it, and he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Carr now on first down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On second and a couple, Carr
fires the out route and completes it to Harris.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's going to sling this deep downfield, and this is caught inside the 5. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 50 yards.
And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. It's simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
They begin this drive with Chubb. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken at around the 40. 51 yards on the punt there.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
We're off to the fourth quarter here on Christmas Eve. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill.
And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here. Watson hooking up with Cooper there for the Cleveland first.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep
looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so...
Touchdown, New Orleans! He just bumped up his personal stats with a second score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today because of what you just said. They're still down on the scoreboard. But later in the year, when he piles it all up and starts to think about contract time, that's a pretty good deal for him. And I know darn well that you've got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't. You always think I
always think
I just appreciate that you think I'm smart enough to have him in fantasy.
Well, you are.
Thanks. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Watson off play action. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On 2nd and 9, Carr, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. The tight end in motion right.
Throwing his car. Pass complete, Thomas. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Complete to Michael Thomas. A gain of 15. And the Saints first down.
Now Carr. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Browns have just about sewn up this football game.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Browns use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
A gain of 29 yards. 1st down, New Orleans.
Here's Carr. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Carr to throw.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now Carr, got to have this one. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Carr.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion. To throw his car. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Everything was riding on that 2-point conversion, and they got it.
They got it. They now have the momentum. Time really dwindling in this game. Now their big deal is make sure they get a good kickoff and don't give up anything big on the defensive end.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. They give to Chubb out of the gun. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
At their 21-yard line. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
157 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Kamara.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
it is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. First throw of overtime for Carr. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And the Browns are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Well, that's a tough one right there, CD. They fought back to tie it, to send it to overtime, had all the momentum, and then that interception.
That fighting spirit, those fighting plays that got them back into it, maybe a little too aggressive there, throwing the interception, and now they've opened the door to get beat by a field goal coming back the other way.
The Browns drive about to get started.
One team squandered opportunity. It's another team's chance to win this thing. They forced that clutch turnover, and now all they need is a field goal here to win this ball game.
Could not be set up much better, could they?
Chubb fumbled it, and this is picked up by the Saints. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And a costly, costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In motion comes the tight end left. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Kamara up the middle.
Down at the 25.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And Bourbon Street, it'll be alive tonight. The Saints have won it.
You